May says it's okay, because she got the blue okay. You're right.
Okay, welcome everyone. We'll go ahead and call our Finance Committee meeting for December 10th, 2025 to order. Please get a roll call.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Rod Beck. Oh, here. Pat Brooks. Here. Trevor Chadwick. Debbie Kling.
Here.
Mary May.
Here.
Chair forum.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. All right, any announcements to share? Discussion items before we get started? Seeing none, we'll go ahead to item number 3, looking for a motion to approve our minutes from November 20th.
Madam Chair. Oh.
No, go ahead.
Yes, all right, we have a motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you very much. Item number 4, information and discussion item. Our disbursements made in the reporting period found on page 4. Ms. Meg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a note, the format of the report does not have the comments on it. We picked up an error. We're working with our accounting software team to figure out that functional error in the report. So we have the version without the comments this time around. And we'll have the version with the comments for the next Finance Committee meeting. Happy to answer any questions on any of the items.
Thank you, Meg. Any questions for Meg? Or any comments? No? All right, seeing none, thank you very much. That takes us down to item 5, found on page 6, item 5A, our fiscal year 2025 audit report. Welcome.
Hi. How's it going?
Good to see you.
Yes, it's good to be here. My name is Morgan Browning. I'm an audit director with Soren. It's a pleasure to be with you here today to present the results of the fiscal year 2025 audit. My plan is to go over the reports that we issue. I'm going to touch on a few financial statement highlights and then open it up to any questions that you guys have. So feel free to interrupt me at any time. The independent audit report is on pages 3 through 5 of the audit. Everyone get there. So the report discusses management's responsibility, our responsibility in the conclusion. So management is responsible for preparing these financial statements. They're also responsible for establishing internal controls sufficient to catch errors and detect misstatements in these financial statements. So management has to have their own internal control. We as auditors are not the internal control per se. Rather, our responsibility is to express an opinion as to whether the financial statements are fairly presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. It's also our responsibility to perform the audit in accordance with government auditing standards and the standards set forth by the Uniform Guidance with respect to federal award program compliance. So the opinion that we're issuing on page 3 is an unmodified opinion, but for all intents and purposes, the clean opinion is the highest level of assurance that you can obtain in the audit, and it's the only opinion I believe that Compass has ever received. So that's a credit to Meg and Ashley for providing all the information and for the audits and explaining and answering our questions, which this does take some time and pulling support. And we are able to get comfortable that the numbers in the financial statements are materially correct. So the next report that I'm going to go over is a report on internal control and compliance required by government auditing standards. It's on pages 45. Just flip there real fast. The report, there's 2 parts to the report: internal controls and compliance. Again, management has to have their own internal controls. They have to be the ones to catch the errors. Our responsibility with internal controls is to understand our internal controls and also to perform tests to ensure the controls are implemented. We have a lot of errors, adjustments, or corrections noted in the audit, and we have to go back and redo things. This report would reference findings. Also, in accordance with government auditing standards, We're required to test compliance with grants, contracts, laws and regulations that could have a material impact on Compass. And if we detect non-compliance as a result of those procedures, this report would also reference findings. So for fiscal year 2025 audit, I'm pleased to report that there were no findings with respect to internal control compliance. The third report that I'm going to go over is a couple pages down on page 47. So since Compass extends more than $1 million in federal award, they have to get a single audit. And this is the report that pertains to the major federal award program compliance. So we look at the CFA, you can see it on the last page, and we.
Interrupt you really quick.
Go ahead.
Morgan. The page numbers are the audit report, but in our packet, it's page 57. So just
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Great,
right. We don't put page numbers on our reports, but page 57 is where that is where in the packet is where that report is. So, you know, on page 50, we have a schedule extended to the federal awards. And we test compliance with program 20.205, the highway planning and construction cluster. And the objective of this report is to express an opinion as to whether or not Compass complied with the terms and conditions of the grant award and the compliance supplement. And also to look at internal controls surrounding that compliance as well. So for fiscal year 2025, we're expressing a clean opinion on compliance, not unmodified opinion. It's our opinion that Compass complied with the terms and conditions of the grant award. We also noted no internal control issues or non-compliance findings as a result of our testing in this area. So as far as the audit goes, you're getting a clean opinion and no findings. Okay, so financial statement highlights, we'll go to page 9 and the audit 19 in the board package. This shows the statement of the net position in comparative form on page 19. It shows the assets, the liabilities, and the net position. Not a whole lot of changes. Really, your asset base is down from 3.9 to 3.5 million. Liabilities are down, and your overall net position is down from 2.1 million to 1.7 million. So this is the government-wide comparison table. If you look at page 10, page 10 and page 20 on the board packet, this shows your revenues and expenses compared to last year. Your revenues were very consistent, 4.4 million in the prior year, 4.2 million in the current year. Not a whole lot of change in the expenses, 4.7 million to 4.6. And overall, your net position decreased 437,000 in fiscal year 2025. Moving to page 17, I'll tell you the 27 on the board. This shows the statement of net position as of September 30th, 2025, standalone. There's two perspectives in this financial statement. There's the fund perspective, which is how I think the board looks at the financial information for Compass, and there's a government-wide perspective. What I want to emphasize here is your overall fund balance as of the end of the year. You had 2.3 million in fund balance total as of September 30th, 2025. Of that, there's about 370,000 assigned, meaning that's the intent to use for a specific purpose, transportation, study or plan, or a CIM grant program. These are very specific assignments of fund balance. You have some non-spendable fund balance related to prepaid expenses, and you have 1.9 million in fund balance that is considered unassigned. Okay, meaning that there's no specific purpose for that fund balance is intended to be spent. Your policies say you should have 3 months of expenditures in your fund balance, and so what I want to emphasize is your total expenses for the year, which are the next page, were 4.7 million. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that your unassigned fund balance is well above your policy requirements. So you have a very healthy cushion to absorb any unforeseen events, and you're following your policy with respect to fund balance. On page 28, yeah, so we have a work packet. You can see your expenses were higher in your revenues this year. You were higher by 316,000, which is fine. It just means your fund balance went down from 2.6 to 2.3 million. You also have policies, investment policies. I just wanted to point out that in a very conservative investment portfolio on my page 27, but it's page 37, the board packet. You can see what you're invested in. Most of your money is in the local government investment pool. You have some CDs and bank deposits consistent with policies as well. With that, I think I'll pause. There's lots more schedules, and there's lots of numbers in here, lots of different lenses and ways to look at this. But in summary, Ashley and Meg, you know, they were very responsive during the audit. We had our week, and we really brought our A game and made sure we like to do a really good audit. And so I think we probably asked for a little bit more, and I think that's more the Soren, you know what I mean, and standardization. They handled it very well, you know, so they didn't complain or anything. They got us the stuff right away, and we're very answer our questions right away. So you know, no changes in the conclusion or anything, but I always appreciate coming here. It's a smooth audit, you know, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have about it.
Always appreciate you being here, and thank you for those comments. Any questions, comments?
I guess I have a question, Madam Chair. I don't know who's gonna answer this, but maybe I'll ask you first. On our page 61 or 51, the indirect rate. I guess I haven't seen an entity choose not to use the indirect costs. So
Yeah.
do you see that in other entities?
Most of them do choose to use the 10% de minimis rate. With Compass, they have their own indirect cost rate. They have an indirect cost plan. They get a letter from Department of Transportation indicating this is your rate. I can't remember what it is right now, but it's like 14.
It's actually around 37%.
Yeah, 37%. So they don't use the de minimis. They have a whole, they have a prescribed, they have an indirect cost allocation plan to come up with those numbers, and they have a whole methodology for how that is determined. It has anything, they don't use the de minimis one.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Madam Chair, if I just may add on, there's a kind of a separate audit process. ITD staff comes out and visits us, goes through all of those costs that are applied to indirect, and makes sure that everything is allowable under the federal grant system, and then we have an approval each year of that rate. So.
And the one thing I'll also add is that's fairly common practice. All the other NPOs that I've worked at have followed that practice as well.
Good, very good.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Comments?
This is Mayor Debbie. I have just a comment.
Go right ahead.
Meg, I just wanted to say thank you. You know, to have a clean audit with no findings. Thank you for your work. Thank you for the diligence, you and your team. I just wanted to acknowledge that and let you know we appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. And Ashley and Janet aren't present here, but they're my staff, and they do a job of dotting all the i's and crossing the t's throughout the year that gets us to this place.
Absolutely, and I definitely concur with Mayor Kling's comments year after year. You know, this is a heavy lift. There's a lot of information in here, and each year you bring it home, and we're very appreciative. So thank you as well. Any further comments? All right, thank you very much for that.
No problem. Thanks for letting me come here and give it the honor.
So we will need to have a motion to accept it.
Make that motion to accept the audit as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll say.
Any further discussion? We have a motion on the table. I've seen none. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much.
Welcome. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Merry Christmas.
Okay, so yeah, Secret Santa. They're gonna get you, so.
Okay. Now on to the official business. Thank you very much for joining us. All right, 5B, down on page 64, establishing the finance committee meeting dates going forward for 2026. I think you just flip it back and over the back. Any questions or make?
I would just make a comment, fairly consistent with the dates, you know, the second Thursday or whatever it might be. But the July meeting is moved forward a couple of weeks. We had some schedule conflict with urban development, I think, so we just bumped that forward to where it normally is around the second Thursday. We went forward to the 26th. Hopefully that works for everybody, but otherwise it's pretty consistent with what we did this year.
So July did jump out of there. I knew there was a good reason there. Any comments or concerns about the proposed schedule? Yeah, motion on that? To accept those dates?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Please do. Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All right, motion carries. That takes us down now to item 6. Our next meeting is March 26th, 2026. Hardly seems,
Invite.
you know, that we're 26, yeah. But before we adjourn, are there any other comments or questions or concerns?
I just wanted to, Mayor Chadwick asked if I was gonna send calendar invites. I will do so. So, and I'll make sure Alex and Judy get those for your calendar.
Very good,
So,
very good.
oh, yeah.
Any other comments, Mayor Kling, before we adjourn?
None for me. Thank you, guys.
We already approved the minutes, but the mayor Chadwick is not the vice chair, is he? He's the past chair, correct?
He's
Finance,
okay, it's vice chair.
finance.
We're sitting in the vice chair.
Fine, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You wanna take my role? No, I don't. I just didn't wanna.
All right.
Glad to hear this committee. Okay.
Okay, thank you, and we'll see everybody Monday.
Yes,
Yes.
Monday. Bring your sparkly clothes.
Yes, please are being festive.
Wait a minute.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Folks.
Therefore, you don't.
We got it, okay.
Just kidding.
Sparkly clothes.
Yeah.
You got a singer again?
It's actually, this year it's gonna be the singing council, city county commissioners.
You got Zach singing?
Done it by.
But we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody, and see you all on Monday.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate all your hard work, everyone. Terry, thank you.
We just